Hi, I am Dr. Singh. I am an acupuncture physician. I'm dedicating some time to go over some very, very critical information regarding taking and passing the board exam. We will be covering a variety of issues or a variety of categories. What I want to do today is suggest that you subscribe to the channel, click on the bell, and in the comment section, describe anything that you think that you believe that you need extra help with. The previous video that I did about blood, vessels, and capillaries, I suggest you look at that because at the end of the video, I talked about the different extraordinary vessels, and it does really matter because you need to know that for the exam. The focus for this video specifically is to get an overview as to herbs. Herbs is one of the chief components of Chinese medicine, TCM. It is very valuable and it's recognized as a most important health treatment in addition to the acupuncture, of course. We're going to be covering the points, the most valuable points. You know that there's a lot of points that could be covered, but we're going to go over the main ones that is most critical to knowing for the test. You remember Shennog? That name you need to associate with herbs. That is very, very important. Shennog is known to have begun eating plants and natural materials to find out which one was poisonous and which one was beneficial. That is just something that you've got to know in herbs. That he is the one that is largely associated with TCM in terms of herbs. Today, we're going to focus on herbs that clear heat and resolve toxicity. I'm going to go over 2 herbs because, again, you do not have to know every single herb. And I'll explain to you why it's going to be these particular herbs. But let's have an overview of herbs that clear heat and resolve toxicity. In your class, they would have given you a definition, but I'm going to summarize this for easy, quick access and understanding. Most of the herbs in the category for herbs that clear heat and resolve toxicity, if you're using it for a long time, the caution for this, it could damage the spleen and the stomach. So it's a contraindication for diarrhea due to spleen deficiency. Another thing for the herbs that clear heat and resolve toxicity is it's either cold or cool. They're mostly bitter. And most of them have an antiviral, anti-inflammatory effect, and an antibiotic effect. So don't forget, herbs that clear heat and resolve toxicity, the caution would be diarrhea due to spleen deficiency. I'm going to go over this one. It's called Fu Ling. Fuling, Fu Ling. That is basically sarsaparilla. This is very, very important that you keep this in mind. This is for the purpose of the state board covering Chinese approach to herbs. It is sweet, it is neutral, and it is bland. The main channels is the liver and the stomach. The caution for this, it should not be taken with tea or with ware that has iron in it. In addition to the spleen and stomach deficiency due to diarrhea. Let me repeat that again. The herbs in the category for clearing heat and resolving toxicity. If it is used for a longer period, it could damage the spleen in the stomach, and the contraindication is that for diarrhea due to spleen deficiency, and is typically cool or cold in nature, and most of them are bitter. This particular herb, Fu Ling, it is in that category. It's called Similac, and its real name or English name is Sarsaparilla. It goes to liver and stomach channel. It does resolve toxicity and eliminates dampness. It is for painful urination or damp heat or jaundice. So we're looking at the lower part of the body, which includes the painful urination, joint pain, and jaundice, these are things that are certainly heat. It clears damp heat from your skin and the recurrence of ulcers or other hot skin lesions. That would be Sarsaparilla, Fu Ling. And the caution for that is diarrhea due to spleen deficiency, and you should not take it with tea or with any kind of ware that's made of iron. Try to keep that in your mind. That's very, very important. This is another common herb, Gong Ying. This is also known as dandelion. Pugong Ying. It is also known as dandelion. Bitter in taste, sweet, and cold. This is also for the liver and the stomach channel. This particular herb, it clears heat and resolves toxicity. As I said, this is under that particular category. So it's for internal abscess, external sores, and particularly if they are firm and hard. And it's especially used for the breast and intestinal abscess. And it can be used both internally and topically. Again, dandelion, Gong Ying. It could be used internally and externally. It clears damp heat. Also for jaundice, just like for sarsaparilla, which is Fu Ling. So both of them, you could put that in your mind that is for jaundice, for painful urinary dribbling, and it clears the throat and it benefits your eyes, for sore throat and redness and swelling eyes. Please keep that in mind. These two herbs, it does both have the attributes dealing with painful urination, dealing with dribbling, and jaundice. And they're both for the liver and for the stomach channel. Widely known and used for breast abscess and other types of sores. Internal and external use for Gong Ying. And again, that is dandelion. Let me spell it again. Pugong Ying. Ying. That's another way of saying dandelion. It's used internally and externally. This is very similar to Fu Ling, and it's in the same category, and that's sarsaparilla, when it comes to dealing with jaundice and painful urination. I hope you find this video as beneficial and useful, and please come back to this channel. We're reviewing information for the purpose of passing the tests. This is for educational purposes, for knowledge in passing the exam. And the disclaimer is, I am not recommending any of these herbs for anybody. In case you've stumbled across this channel, this is a purpose for educational purposes solely. Herbs that clear heat and resolve toxicity. They're basically going to be cool or cold in nature. The spleen in the stomach, if you're using it for a long time, you need to be concerned about that. And it also has an antibiotic, antiviral, anti-inflammatory effect. Most of them are bitter. And again, cool or cold. Hence, herbs that clear heat and resolve toxicity. We reviewed that dandelion, which is Gong Ying. That could be used internally, externally, stomach and liver channel. Yes, that particular item, it's for urination, dribbling. And I also mentioned to you that the other herb, and this is what you need to know, try to start looking at it that way. What has similar attributes? Because the Sarsaparilla, the Fu Ling, has the same similar type of function in the body. And it is also in the same category. Leave a comment in the comment section. The videos that I'm going to put up regarding point location, they are the most necessary points to know. It's not necessary to know all of them. It is the most important. And again, the previous video that you see that says blood, vessels, and I think it has arteries, capillaries, and veins. That is very, very important because I do go through, or I went through the extraordinary vessels. And you're going to see this completely different when you associate it in the way that I'm showing it to you. Leave a thumbs up if you like this video. And share it with a friend.